Yo, guys, welcome to another episode of the Rodeo Talk. We are here today, Max. First of all, before we do anything, I want to give you a round of applause for the background because that is absolutely amazing. I think it's fair to say that you're winning the background battle this time. So I
Thanks,
like
brother.
mine as well. It's pretty wide, but
I think your one's quite unique. Yeah, I can see
yeah.
there's some cool features and things like that. No,
Yeah,
no, we're
it's a
back.
nice wide background. That's pretty good. But
Yeah.
anyways, it's been a week since we've been talking. A lot of
hmm
things has happened, and the agenda for this call is basically just on the go. We have nothing planned, so if you want to have a good time and want to dive into some very exciting subjects, well, this episode is definitely for you because this is
Mm.
going to be fun. And I've been looking forward to this. But before we do anything, how are you feeling, Max?
Very good, brother. Great to be here. Another week, another rodeo talk. My favorite hour or so of the week. And yeah, today we have nothing really planned, but we both have a lot of thoughts that we're going to be bringing to the table, a lot of different subjects. So people can expect this to be a pretty cool episode. But yeah, I'm doing very well, as you can see. Still in New Zealand, the sun's probably rising where you are. If
Yes.
it has actually rised yet, it's kind of short days at the moment.
Oh, yeah. No, it's getting better and better.
Yeah.
So the sun has been up for like since 6 a.m., I guess. So
Okay.
over
Okay.
3 hours. So we're running really high right now.
Yeah. Yeah. But New Zealand's amazing. Sunset here is beautiful. There's so many mountains, so great nature.
We can see that.
So yeah, yeah, it's quite nice. Quite nice the place we're at right now. So um, no, I'm feeling really good, man. Been looking forward to this conversation today. Of course, a lot of interesting things. I feel we're getting into the grunt of 2025. Like, there's always January and there's the hype around the new year and all these things. And February is kind of, at least in some parts of the world, it's summer, like in New Zealand in February. I know in Denmark it's winter, but there are some holidays, so maybe some skiing, maybe some summer if you're in the right part of the world. But now we're like in March and things are starting to get serious. And I think this is where you actually are going to have the most leverage to be built throughout the year are March and April, and maybe also a little bit May. So yeah, I'm feeling really good. We've both been really busy this week. So great to catch up
Yes.
today and talk about a few things. So yeah, man, looking
I
forward to
know
it.
that I know you have been doing a lot of different things this week, bro. So yeah, what has been the most exciting things for a guy who's running an online business, traveling the world, and just having the time of his life?
My answer is going to be so boring, but this week we kind of cracked the code on having really good conversion rates on our outbound sequence. And this sounds so boring. But on a business side, that's my biggest win this week. Brought on a new app setter for the agency and actually been really fine tuning our strategy for closing calls um, and eventually closing clients, of course. But
Yeah.
our outbound sequence has improved by 10% in conversion rate of kind of how many calls we're booking. And that's massive when you think about the volume that we're putting through. I think a personal win was that I jumped off a cliff this week, bro. And it was actually 16, 17 meters high.
That's huge. Did you do a
Yeah,
backflip though?
no, no. So the video that I posted, you
Really?
probably saw. That was my good friend down here, Mitchell, which he's a crazy man, by the way. So he did a kind of half flip, but I just jumped off like a pencil, like a bitch, I guess. But it was 17 meters, so I was thinking about my survival, and the lake water behind me was actually quite low, so you need to jump quite a bit out. If you jump straight down, you're gonna hit rocks. Probably not a good time.
That's not
So,
good.
but I had that fear, and I climbed up, and I broke through it. So that's another win, I think. But exciting times here. I mean, being in a beautiful place like New Zealand is very inspiring, but it can also be like not distracting, but very kind of tempting because there's so much beauty here and you can immerse yourself. And I like being outdoors. I like exploring nature. I like going on the lake in a boat or, I don't know, going for a hike or exploring where I'm actually from, being multinational. So it's a different vibe from when we were living together in a bit more of a colder apartment complex type of
Oh
vibe.
yes.
But I actually am finding that I'm performing very well in both elements. So I'm kind of detached from what's around me. I just need my Wi-Fi connection, my laptop, um, and yeah, I guess I'm kind of detached from that a little bit
Yeah.
stoic maybe. But I guess that's what I've experienced so far. But how about yourself, man? How's the week been? Any big wins? Any changes?
A big win was that, of course, we hired a new team member for one of my clients. He made also, yeah, record-breaking month when it comes to revenue.
Yeah,
So a lot of good things has been going on. Also, yeah, invested in a coach for the next year.
big win.
So a lot of good things for, yeah, the business area, building good connections, having, yeah, very good results, starting to really get onto another level when it comes to service delivery for my clients. If you guys don't know, I help coaches scale a business, get more clients and sales through automated systems, ads, appointment setting. Also help them with sales if they're struggling to actually close the deal. So they can, of course, help as many people as possible with living a better and more fulfilling life while making more money and
Mm.
also being able to have more freedom and safety in their life. So that's basically summed up what I'm doing. I love everything, every single step of it. But I think, yeah, a lot of things has been going on.
You've been
There
in
are
the
some
gym.
sickness in yeah, definitely every single day actually. Not
There we
only
go.
for fitness, but also for cardio.
Damn.
I like the idea of working out. I spend probably 80% of the time in the gym, weight training, fitness, the aesthetic look, and then 20% all out cardio to really get, yeah, like fit and also
Mm.
flexible, and just athletic. Because for me personally, I don't, and this was me a few years ago, I wanted to be so big as possible, but now I just want to feel great. Being capable of doing things, go for
Yeah.
a 10-kilometer run, or yeah, being strong as an ox, like doing a lot of bench press, having a good time with good people. So yeah, and right now in my family there's some very serious illness.
Mm.
So for me, gym and training is not just something that you do. It's really a way to be something for yourself, so you can be more for others who need your help.
Mm.
That's how I see
Exactly.
it right now,
So
as
important.
fuel to my soul. So
So
yeah,
important to
it's
practice
been a
what you
good,
preach. 100%, man. It's
yeah,
so important because obviously, regarding external circumstances, all we can do is continue to do exactly what we want to do. I love what you said about just sticking to what kind of feeds your soul and really just fuels you, because that's more important than ever. And being an example of embodying this holistic health and actually aiming towards more of a functional athleticism rather than just a visual athletic kind of look. I have the same philosophy for myself. I maybe haven't been to the gym as much this week as I had been last week. I'm working on
yeah,
my bench press a lot. Actually, just hit 80 kilos, which was really really awesome.
that's perfect.
So in
How
actually
many reps did you do?
one rep, bro,
One
one
rep.
rep,
Okay.
bro. Yeah, I'm gonna post some stuff on Instagram as well about my one rep max test. So I'm doing a one rep max test every 4 5 weeks, 5 weeks actually. And
Yeah.
when I started, it was 70 kilo, and in 5 weeks, I've increased my one rep max by 10 kilo. And I can feel I'm getting a lot stronger. At the same time, I'm staying totally dialed in with my endurance stuff. So I'm very much into Ironman, and I'm a future Ironman. I'm a current half Ironman.
Yeah.
Um, so I completely agree. Being able to be functional and not be limited by your body's capabilities. Like I wake up and I just feel sharp, right? And I can do
Yeah.
pretty much anything I need to do. There's nothing where I'm like, I can't reach that on the shelf, or I can't, I don't know, run somewhere if I had to, or you've seen that video online of like this. It's so sad to see, man. But that's just like this trolley with a baby, and
Yeah.
this larger person, quite fat, like loses control of
Yeah.
the, and it rolls out towards the road, and they're just stumbling over themselves because they're so big, and they can't save their child, and someone else has to run over and actually stop the the pram or trolley or whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it with the child going onto the road, and that stuff's like wow. At that point, your body is limiting you in your day-to-day life, and I know we're both above and beyond that, and then from there it just becomes being more capable, better, more functional. So I completely agree, and cardio is so important. I've been listening to some books when I do cardio and podcasts. I know you've been getting into it as well. Do you have any book recommendations at the moment?
Oh yeah, bro. I have so many, but I figured out I'm doing right now 45 to an hour of cardio every single day to really get down in fat percentage and get shredded. I have a tough fitness coach who don't give a shit about how I feel. He just tells me what to do, and I
Perfect.
absolutely love that. So I figured out, okay, when I'm there on the Stairmaster, just going all out. I hate to just look into a white wall like the the one beside me, behind me. But I figured out, okay, I need to do something. How can I make this? And this is actually a very good life hack for you guys. If you're struggling to get the bad, not bad, but hard things done, find something joyful to implement into the habit. So if you're looking to do cardio, let's say, and you really hate it, like it's so boring to do the same thing over and over again, what you can do is just implement a little feature like a, a audiobook or maybe, yeah, I don't recommend watching Netflix, but do whatever you want to as long as you get the shit done. For me personally, I love listening to audiobooks when I'm walking outside or when I'm in the gym, especially when it's cardio, because I feel like I'm learning something and I'm paying attention. So I'm not really focused on the 45 minutes because if I'm constantly like watching the clock from 0 to 45 minutes,
Hmm.
it's going to be a long time. But when I'm reading the subtitles from the audiobook and really focusing on what's being said and really
Yeah,
understanding that, okay, I need to listen, like not just hear, but listen and
there's a difference.
understand. Yes, that and it's super hard, by the way, to if you're just starting out. There's a big difference between hearing something and listening. And listening is where you also understanding and kind of in your subconscious mind start to think, okay, how can I apply it to my life? Okay, I got this information. How is that going to work out in my life? So you kind of your brain is just constantly working, and I think that's really good. To get back to your question, this week I've been listening and completed 2 audiobooks. So massive life hack. If you want to actually get more knowledge, listen to more audiobooks. I know some of you guys, if you're reading, you get extremely tired because reading is so much harder than listening to something. Um, so try an audiobook. What I can truly recommend is the audiobook and book as well, if you want to read it, from Tim Grover. It's called Relentless. And basically, it's a book about how you go from being good to great to being unstoppable. And he breaks down, okay, if you're a cooler, you're just good. You're really good, but just good. If you are a closer, you get the job done, but you're only great. If you want to become unstoppable, you have to be a cleaner.
Cleaner,
And
yeah.
I'm not going to say any more than that because Tim Grover is going to give you everything you need to hear, not what you want to hear. If you're looking to be sugar coated, it's not really for you. He's going to tell you the truth, and it's really good. I can totally recommend it to like a wake up call to become one of the best. He's Tim Grover has been training guys like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant so they could go from being one of the greatest of all time to the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
So how you can make something really good, even really great, to becoming unstoppable, like these small changes. Absolutely amazing. I've
Yeah.
also listened to another one. It's from Tony Robbins called Awakening the Giant Within.
Hmm.
And long story short, it's basically about how you can change your life. And you don't need anything else but your mind. That is the only thing you need. You can reprogram and change your life like immediately, and he's going to give you a lot of actionable advice that you can do. So if you want to change your life and if you want to become unstoppable, these two books are fantastic. And
Amazing.
yeah, I can't recommend them enough. So definitely 6 out of 5 stars from here. So that's pretty good.
We
And
should definitely have some weekly recommendations about books. I think there are great recommendations.
yes,
Myself at the moment, what am I reading? I've been going back to some books that I've read before, and I like to do that with books that have really had an impact on me. And it's always funny to see how, so everyone out there that's listening, if you have a book that you read once and it had a really good impact on what you were doing and where you were in your life, store it away for 1, 2 years and read that thing again. And you're going to read it so differently because now you're at a different place in life and it
yeah,
hits different, literally, in many ways. So I've been going back to How to Win Friends and Influence People, just some of the classics. We could make an easy book list for people out there if they're getting into the basics of wanting to increase their communication skills, get an understanding of how they can tap into some of their potential. But main thing that you mentioned, also talking about the habits, is like habit stacking and doing something
yeah,
that you want to do while you're doing something that you know you need to do and you personally don't want to do. Like a lot of people, bro, I'm just realizing that they're actually not in control of their own mind. And when you said that we just need our mind, I thought, yeah, a mind that you have control over, right? Because a lot of people nowadays, we are creatures of habit. And a lot of people are living a life of just reacting to triggers of habits that they have. So they'll do that and go to bed there and drink that or smoke that or game that or
yeah.
procrastinate that. And they're just in habit and they're actually not in control of their life. And I don't know if I can explain that in any better way, but actually being in control of what you're doing. Some people are just doing based off what kind of pops into their mind and what they're feeling. And I guess there's
They,
some different mentalities to that, but that was just a thought I had because I've just been meeting so many people and talking to a lot of people the first 2, 3 months of this year. So as Mikkel said, I also work with coaches, and I've been talking with some up and coming coaches that wants to get into the game of making money online and these things. And I've just realized when speaking to a few of these people that opted in to have a conversation with me that they just need a massive mindset shift
yeah,
towards what they actually are doing it for and what they understand they need to put into it. Like they're not really in control. They're just like the idea of it and they're kind of acting blah blah blah. A bit of a la la land mentality, but actually stopping up, analyzing your strengths, your weaknesses, understanding how you react to habit, reading books like Relentless to really become a cleaner.
yes.
That's the big change, right? That's the big change. Everything else, typing on a computer and delivering service that we are doing. Yes, we are experts in our field, and after having doing this for years and years, but it all comes from up here. If you have the right mind, you could easily do what we're doing. Like, and I speak with people, and they're saying, "Well, I can't do that." I wouldn't be able to do it if I was you either. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to do that if I was in your situation because you're trapped or you're thinking too small or you're trapped by habits.
Yes.
Or so you get what I mean? Like it's
But I
like
also think
mm,
it's not only about having the right mind because you well everything is like in development. So the reason why you haven't achieved your goals is not because you have everything you need, because you're just not that person yet. Your mind has not developed to a certain point which makes you capable of achieving that.
mhm.
And how do you actually know that, okay, now I understand, now I'm on that level, so I can achieve this? And I think one simple point that you need to recognize is the aha moment. So when you try something new, let's say that it's your first day of running a business and you want to set up a sales funnel, it looks really confusing. You don't know what you're doing and like, what do I do? Um, and everything seems so confusing and extremely difficult. But once you just try it and try different things, and get a perspective. Maybe you watch something, you get some knowledge because knowledge is input. Now you have some new input that creates a new perspective on how you can do something. So let's just take um, a fitness coach and fitness as an example. You're obese and you want to get a six pack, but you have no idea on how to do it. The first thing I would do is research, not only how to do it, but who has done it. If I don't know how to do it myself, I need to find a person with a six pack who are also teaching others how to get in shape and watch some of the content, um, maybe on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever they are, because then they're probably sharing some knowledge that are super valuable, and it gives you
Mm.
like a new perspective. And maybe you come across a coach who say, okay, well, the reason why you're not in shape is because you're not focusing on your calories. Boom. Okay. Calories. What is that? What is that to do with being fat and obese? Well, then he explains, well, calories is basically just energy. And if you consume more energy than you use, then your body will store that energy in your body into fat, and you will actually be obese over time. Okay, but how do I get in shape? Well, if you burn more energy than you consume, well, that means that you're actually losing fat on your body and you're getting shredded. You're getting in shape. Aha, okay, now I'm getting the inputs, and this is the aha moment. Okay,
Hmm.
cool. How can I do that? Now I know this. Well, maybe you need to track the food that you eat. Good, that was some new input. Okay, how can I track my food? Maybe if you have a scale that you can and where you can put all your food on, and you have an app called MyFitnessPal. Maybe I think that's exactly how you do it. But maybe you find out, okay, cool. Now I can actually weigh my food, know exactly how many calories are in it. I can scan the food. Okay, cool. How long do I need to do it for? Well, until you get results. When do I, but what if I don't get results? Well, you track your numbers, take some pictures of yourself every single week
Hmm.
and weigh yourself. If you're not losing kilos and you're not seeing more definition on your body, well, you just need to turn down your calories a little bit. How many calories do you need to turn down? Well, maybe a fitness coach tells you to drop 100 calories every time you stagnate. Okay, cool. Now you kind of know the process.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
now you
and
have two choices. Yes, exactly. Okay, that's how I do it. But now you have two choices. Do you want to do it yourself or do you want someone to help you? I always recommend finding someone to help you. So once you find the aha moment and you get new input and say, oh, okay, cool. That's really, really great. Now you're one step closer to finding a pattern, and everything comes down to pattern. So, everything is in systems. There's a bad system. Not system is basically neutral, but there's bad input or good input.
mm, yeah.
So if you stack your life with bad habits, you're going to get bad results. So if you stack it with good habits, you're going to get the right results. And it all, and the reason why you're probably not a millionaire yet is because you haven't developed your mind to make $1 million. You don't have the pattern. You have not discovered the path to $1 million. And that's why so many people get lost in the beginning. Max, I think
Mm,
it's safe to say that we know probably more than 100 people who started a business who are not in business anymore
no.
because they're not a millionaire. But the reason why they're not a millionaire is not because they're not good people. It's not because they're not working hard. It's just because they didn't develop the skills that required to make the $1 million. They did not become the person who are capable of being a millionaire. So the best thing you can do And this also comes down to The Giant Within from Tony Robbins and Relentless by Jim Grover, is that if you want to achieve something, immediately, right now, act, live, and truly believe that you already have it.
Hmm.
Because ask yourself, if you were a billionaire, Max, what would you actually do? And I would like to ask you that. So let's say that I transferred $1 billion to
Right.
you. Um, what would you do?
I think I'll be doing a lot of the same stuff I'm doing now, to be honest. That's a short response, and there's a few things you said that I really, really resonate with. Um, but to answer your question directly, I would live probably where I'm living right now. You know, my personal goals, my vision board favors a simple life. Working with great people, creating value to the world, redefining the social media balance of valuable content and procrastination content, and freeing people into actually realizing their truest potential and actually living the life that gives them the most fulfillment. And I'll be doing that the same way. I'd be having a far larger team. So I'm always acting in accordance with the person that I
Yeah,
am thinking ahead of being, like just like you do. And we encourage people, and I said before on the pod that we read our future selves in the mirror to ourselves every morning and every afternoon, actually twice a day. I read exactly who I am in 10 years, exactly what's on my bank account, exactly how I act, exactly how people think of me. How do I think of myself? How am I perceived in the public? All these things, and I act as that person, right? Obviously, I'm still based in reality. I'm not going to go out there and blow something on a vehicle or a house, put
no, no,
myself in
no.
massive debt. But it's more
That
the
that's not the
mindset.
point.
No, exactly, exactly. It's not the point at all. And so, to be completely clear with you, like I'd be doing what I'm doing now on a larger scale, exactly the same thing, exactly the same splits, exactly the same routines, the same input to the machine, just at a larger scale, and I'm tracking towards that, and
Yeah,
always keep myself accountable towards those goals. And one quote that I remember hearing, which is quite deep, I think, is that when we are quote unquote manifesting stuff or have these visions and are working so strongly towards them and really feel that we are deserving of them in some time frame, some quote that I heard was that actually it's already yours in the future, and that's why you feel so strong towards it now. In the future, it's already yours. It's yours in the future. You're just 5 years behind, and you're tracking towards that. And if you truly adopt that belief that it's already mine, I'm just on the path towards it,
yeah.
you really help yourself understand how you need to act on a daily basis to achieve these things. But I want to be
Yes.
very clear about the reality thing as well, because we're both based on reality. We're both analytical people and very rational when it comes to business and working with our team, and are looking ourselves in the mirror and saying that's not good enough and whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we do have our future selves with us on a daily basis. When I'm in front of a challenge, I always am thinking, what would Max in 10 years do in this situation? How would he act based on what I have read to myself multiple times that he is in the current situation of? And the more times I can act like him, the more I'll become that person. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
so I very much agree.
Because it all comes down to the actions. So let's just take maybe business as an example. Okay,
Hmm.
how do I get to $10,000 a month? Well, like overall, act like the person who are making $10,000 every single month. And that means you need to optimize and be better with your actions, more quality, more input, more focus, um, and better systems. Basically, just act and speak, think like a guy who's making $10,000, because it all comes down to literally be what you want to achieve. It's not about faking it till you make it. That a lot of people use that, but it's really not true, because there's no faking. There's only one answer. You need to be exactly the guy that are capable, or the girl who are capable of achieving the goal. It's the
Yeah.
exact same with the six pack. You're not faking cardio. You're not faking uh, your diet. You're just following it and do what is required to have a six pack.
Mm.
So very, very good. I like what you said. And obviously, bro, you're also really stoic. We like the simple stuff, like working hard, um, staying humble as well. We don't need many things. I think, and this is also a funny story because Stoicism, for you guys who don't know, being Stoic comes from Stoicism, which is a Greek school in the ancient from the ancient Greece, and Stoicism is mostly known for the entire world
Mm.
because it's blown up for marketing. It looks really good when we're stoic and we're strong. We don't need many things. We're just working hard, simple stuff. Um, but Stoicism isn't everything. There's also another school from the ancient Greece that you guys probably don't know about. Max, I also asked you right before we recorded this, if you know the school um, Epicureanism, and Epicureanism is also a school. Stoicism is like being simple. We don't need much. We're very down to earth, grounded.
Mm.
Epicureanism is the complete opposite. They appreciate great food. They appreciate the materialistic things. So it's not so spiritual, but they're more like materialistic.
Mm.
And I think for a lot of people, when they're starting out, starting a business, they're kind of drawn to the Epicureanism.
Hmm.
They want to have the materialistic things. What they understand is that most people who have the business are quite stoic, but then they feel. I've also had the exact same feeling. I don't know about you, Max, but when we want something materialistic, and I think Stoicism is all about giving to people, providing. Epicureanism is all about taking, and life is about giving and taking. There's
Yeah.
not just one thing. It's a balance between
It's give
giving
and
and
take.
taking.
Yeah.
So when we take, how do we feel? We feel how do you feel when you take? Sometimes I feel a little bit guilt. Okay, can
Hmm.
I actually take this?
Yeah.
Um, and that comes, and this is just my belief. Maybe I'm totally wrong.
Obviously, it's different from people
There's,
to people.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the reason why we feel guilty for taking is because of the stoicism, because we normalize always provide, and we should. But when we need to take a little bit sometimes, but we feel guilty. And I think that's why we haven't heard that much of the Epicureanism, because they really appreciate great food, um, women as well, love, happiness, great things, materialistic things like having a lot in life and celebrating and having a good time. And it's actually completely okay.
Yeah.
So there's no right or wrong. So if starting a business makes you want to have a Rolex or a fancy car, it's actually okay. So whatever actually gets you started. But I will say that have a mix of the Stoicism and also Epicureanism, because what I want to go with this is that
Hmm.
use the Epicureanism, the materialistic things that you're drawn to, use them as an achievement.
Yeah.
But the vehicle to achieve them needs to be stoicism. So you provide, you provide, you provide, then you get to a certain level, then you can take, which
Yes.
in business terms, you help others scale their business. So you can scale your own business. Once you're making more money, you can help more people. And once you get to a certain level, you can give yourself a reward for that.
100%.
Maybe, maybe the entrepreneur like achievement, which could be like a fancy watch or whatever it is, a fancy car. But it's actually, this could be an episode for itself. But
100%.
I think this is actually really, really underrated to also talk about the Epicureanism.
Very interesting. Like, I didn't know anything about Epicureanism before we were checking in, before we hit record. And I was quite surprised, but I do definitely see the point of Epicureanism when you relate it to Stoicism. And as you said, I am of the belief that you lead with giving, and taking is a byproduct of giving to some extent. That's probably the positive flywheel, is that, as you're saying, it's a give and take, it is a balance, but you give, 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 and that puts you in a position now where there's the byproduct of having provided and given is now that you can take, right? If you start by taking, but you haven't given anything, I think you're going to go into negative numbers, be it
Yeah,
financially or be it spiritually. However you want to view that, I think you guys get what I mean, guys and girls. But I think it's important to solve a problem, add value, and as a byproduct of that, abundance will come to you, and you'll start to be able to take. And take is a bit of a word that maybe can be fueled with some sort of guilt,
yeah,
but I think it's also like giving and getting, receiving, as you're providing. I think that's also a different way of maybe wording it. And I completely agree with what you're saying. Personally, my balance is a bit more on the stoic side of things, but definitely
same.
achievements
A lot
along the
more
road.
so.
Yeah, but definitely achievements along the road. Like, I wanted to get my mom something for Christmas last
Yeah,
year, and I was able to kind of get it to her. And that felt like a gift along the way. That wouldn't have been anything like that. And also treat myself sometimes to like go out or have a dinner, or we go out and have
celebrate
some
life.
dinner and celebrate life, right? It's really important to enjoy the most influential years of your life while also living in true accordance with the person you want to be in 10 years. And that balance is so individual and specific to you. We are not the people that are going to lock ourselves and grind away on our agencies in rooms, maybe for seasons of the year.
Yeah,
But I'm in New Zealand. I'm enjoying life as much as I can here. This week has been really busy. But I take every opportunity I can to also enjoy where I'm currently at. And it is a balance. It is a balance. I give, 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 give during the week, and then I get to take that experience in and really enjoy it. And I actually enjoy it more after having given. I wouldn't have
yeah,
been able to enjoy taking if I hadn't given. And I think that's a very important perspective in that conversation, in that context.
yeah. We're all different, and someone are like fully living like a Epicurean, like only taking, celebrating life, materialistic things, having a lot of things, and that's perfectly fine. Um, we are more known to and drawn to the Stoicism. That's what the most of the world are, and is. So I think for yeah, for you guys who are watching this and listening, find your own way. But I would definitely recommend, if you want to start a business, provide before you can take. So find out how can you serve others, because that automatically gives you more options to be more materialistic later on. So that's actually really really interesting. Um, yeah, use it into your business, scale it, help others, and celebrate life as well. It's not either black or white. It's yeah, it's very colorful. So that's just the beauty of life.
Yeah. I
So
agree. Sometimes I want life to be very simple, and I have like want to put things into boxes, and that's a bit of perfectionism that I've kind of grown through and understood myself through. But it's so multicolored. There's so many facets and nuances when it comes to how you move through your life and seasons of life, and it's really difficult just to paint it with one philosophy or one school of thought. But I think my
yeah,
main takeaway from this, and what I would love people to have a think about, is adopting a mindset that favors you right now. Adopt a mindset towards the actions you need to take that favors you taking them, whether that be small implementations like only letting yourself listen to that ebook when you're on the Stairmaster, or another adaptation of being resilient and working very hard could be that success is your ethical obligation and your duty. This is what I remind myself every morning. I'm put on this earth with one life.
yeah.
I have a chance to live and really give it my all. So it's my ethical obligation to achieve as much as possible. I believe. Adopt a mindset that favors you and your goals. Because if you don't have a mindset that's working with you, it's working against you. And
It
if you're not
is
able to sacrifice for your goals, as we know, your goals become the sacrifice. And the same goes with your mindset. If you're not able to sacrifice for your mindset becomes the sacrifice. So
exactly.
it's going to be difficult for people. When we were talking about not faking it till you make it, but being who you want to be right now. I immediately got put back to when I was first immersed into the digital wealth creation world, and I was surrounded with people who didn't have ambitions of breaking past 10K back when that was a reality for me of really hitting that target. And that felt weird, right? Because if you're around people who are eating McDonald's and doesn't care about their diet, and you want to get a six pack, it's going to feel very weird. And maybe you get you get a little bit of imposter syndrome for wanting a six pack because no one else around you
Yeah.
has it. So why should you have one? And it also comes down to the culture you're from. I know in Denmark where we grew up, like there is a culture towards not you shouldn't think you're entitled to have more than anybody else that you're with. So people need some tools to also break out of those circles, but it's not going to be easy. But
No.
again, what are you going to
I,
sacrifice?
I mean, if you the best thing you can do, like honestly, here in Denmark, we don't want others to succeed. So the best thing you can do, remove yourself from that area surrounding these culture. Um, I've been living in Dubai right now. I'm here in Denmark, but I live in Dubai. And that is a city that is based on go after your dreams and do whatever it takes. We also have it for Miami as well. I don't know that much about New Zealand, but probably some places in New Zealand are better than others. Some
100%.
places in Denmark are
Bangkok,
better than others. Yeah,
we
Bangkok,
travel a lot.
these big cities, New York as well. So find places where people are winners and winning because then you also become a winner. Let's let's round it off here.
Yeah, 100%.
Find people who you want to surround yourself with and be a winner. Like choose right now to be a winner and then you win. I think that's let's round it off here. We can go
That's a good
forever
note.
about this.
Good note. I like it.
Yeah, if you want to also learn more about Max, where can people find you? Is it Instagram, LinkedIn?
Yeah, a bit of both, really. Like Instagram, Max Rooney underscore underscore. Still working on getting that Max Rooney clean handle, but I
Good,
guess I'm tracking the guy down that actually has it. So we'll see. Maybe in a few years, everything falls to place, and I can just be Max Rooney clear on Instagram. But
good,
you'll find me if you search my name. Same on YouTube, same on LinkedIn. Yeah, I actually
perfect.
posted a YouTube video recently, also talking about some cool stuff. So check that out. Content on the way as well. But as you know, business comes first, and then the rodeo talk, and then content at the
Yeah,
moment.
absolutely.
How
Yeah,
about
for
yourself,
me,
man?
Miguel Winslow, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. If you have a question for me or Max, go on Instagram, send us a DM, and we will respond to you as fast as possible. And
100%.
yeah, find Rodeo Talk, Spotify, YouTube, and listen to some of the other podcasts. What I can say next week, this is just a little teaser. We are
Small
going
one.
to have the biggest announcement yet. This guest that are coming is so good. You don't know who he is. Max, you probably don't know who he is either, but he is super and very incredible. He has some crazy stories. He's high level. He has achieved a lot of things, multiple $1 million businesses, um, one of the greatest networks that I've ever seen in my life.
Awesome.
So stay tuned for that. This is going to be a huge banger. But until then, take care and win.
Win, everyone. Great to see everyone. Yeah, stay tuned. We're going to continue to drop bangers, provide unbelievable guests like the
Yes,
viewers that we
sir.
have, reoccurring viewers. They are in for a treat. Everyone, stay tuned. Next episode will be massive. Check out us anywhere on the socials, and yeah,
Yes,
see you next time.
yes, sir. Take care.
Take care.